So how you doing? Yeah. You want to make money. You want a better life. You want a happier life. You want a healthier life. Don't we all? We all want these things. But there's a difference between wanting and doing. There really is. And there's only one way to get there, and that's by doing. And it sounds so simple, yet it's so obvious. It's by doing. Now, we all know about snowballs, don't we? We all know about the snowball idea. I often talk about snowballs. So, in the beginning, a snowball starts off as a small piece of snow, what somebody holds between the hands and squeezes it together. They formed a snowball. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to get that snowball formed. And it's all about taking that first step. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Whether it's health, fitness, making money, you've got to take that first step. Things will not come to you. Things will never ever land in your lap. Ever. I promise you. They never do. They never do. But I tell you something. The harder you work, the luckier you become. And that is true. That is absolutely true. It's funny how things work. It really is. So you get your snowball, you've squeezed it together. Whether, and I'm going to give you some pointers here in a minute, but the point is, you put the snowball on the ground and you're trying to roll it along the ground, and it's not easy. You push it, it moves a bit, and then it stops, doesn't it? But every time you push it along, that snowball gets a little bit bigger. But it's only a small bit at a time, and you don't really notice it. So you keep pushing, and that snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then eventually, it's a fair old size. And you've done that. You have done that. Because you pushed that snowball, didn't you? You made that snowball get bigger. And so, eventually, you keep pushing, and you come to a hill. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? You come to a hill, and suddenly the snowball starts to roll down the hill under its own steam, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and becomes unstoppable, depending on how big the hill is. But it's the same for you. It is the same for you. Whatever you want, whatever you're trying to achieve in life, it is exactly the same for you. Sorry, I'm driving, I'm just concentrating, but I wanted to talk. I'm only making these videos when the inspiration hits me. I'm not just making them for the sake of making them. But I do have stuff to say. And I think sometimes I'm just rambling. And I wonder if you guys actually think there's anything in it. But let me know. Let me know down below in the comments. Because I'd love to interact with you guys. And I do answer as many comments as I can. Funny old world, I tell you, and nobody else is going to make it for you, unless you're lucky and you come into some money through inheritance, or you win the lottery. But those things are few and far between, aren't they? So I'm going to give you an example of this, and I could give you 10 examples quite easily. Okay, So, we'll talk about weight loss. Now, years ago, I'm going back 12, 13 years ago, I was in an unhappy marriage, and it had been unhappy for years. I'll not go into the details, but I was drinking a lot. I really was. And I was getting through a bottle of Southern Comfort, which is a form of whiskey, at least once a week. So I'd be having 2, 3, 4 glasses of that every night, with anywhere between 3 and 6 bottles of beer. But at the side of that, I was having junk food, just crap, and it sickens me. You know, I'd get a packet of sweets, candy. Sorry, the phone dropped. So I was having sweets, candy, and crisps, which is chips, and chocolate. I'd even buy a baguette, bread. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about it, really does. Anyway, the point is that was obviously emotional stuff going off. And we all do it. A lot of people do it. We eat and drink emotionally. And so the marriage came to an end. This is not good while I'm driving. Anyway, let me stick you on there. The marriage came to an end, and I joined a gym and I lost 5 stone, which is like 70 pounds. And I felt amazing. I felt amazing. But I lost that in 3 months, which was good, but it was really fast. And do you know what? It never stayed off. Because I met my current wife, and even though things were good, well, things were amazing, I stopped going to the gym, and I was eating again. And I started drinking again, but just little bits. And the weight's come back over the years, very slowly and gradually. So what me and my wife have been doing for about 2 months now is just delaying breakfast. That's it, delaying breakfast until 11 a.m. And it's working. It's working. But that has now become a habit. And habits, I've read, can take, I don't know the exact number, but it's something like 21, 30 days to form. So I still have days where I feel hungry in the morning, but I'll just drink some water, or I'll drink a coffee, and it takes it off. And it makes it all the better once it's got to 11 o'clock, knowing that I've done it. Excuse me. So it's working, and so far every single week we're losing weight, and it's only like £1, but it feels good. Because when you're losing weight, you often think, I want to lose £2, I want to lose £3. We're all so desperate. We're all so desperate to lose the weight as fast as humanly possible. We're always in a rush. It's the same with business. Same with the internet. We're all in a rush to get somewhere. But you feel just as excited when you're losing £1 a week, when you're making progress. And that is what it's all about. Making progress. I promise you, the feeling of achieving, of winning, of having a goal and knowing that you have moved closer to it. Doesn't matter how long it takes, because you feel good, because you know you're on the path. It's when you feel helpless that it gets to you. It's when you feel helpless that you think, just aim and shoot. Just start. Take those first steps in life. Whatever it is. I'm just going to pull over. I promise you, aim. Start the thing. Start the thing. What is your thing? And do it consistently for a week and see the results. After a week, you might not be 20 steps forward where you'd like to be. You might only be 2 steps forward. But I promise you, in here, you will feel positive, you will feel uplifted, because you are on that path and you are moving along that path. That is your line. You've started there. You're not going off the line, you're not going off to the sides. You are moving along that line. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because you are getting there. And practice that and get good at that one thing. You can add another thing down the line, but get good at that. This weight loss. We don't eat until 11 o'clock. Sometimes it's 12 o'clock. And I'll tell you, some days, I'm not even hungry, and I don't feel hungry until 12, 1 o'clock. But other days, like today, 8:30 in the morning, I'm really hungry, but I've been sipping on water, and it takes it off. And I know I'm coming to a job soon where she'll say, do you want a drink? And I'll say, yes please, I'll have a coffee. And it takes it off. It's never always going to be plain sailing. But I'll tell you something, after so many weeks, it becomes a habit. And it becomes second nature. You've got to build them habits, guys. Let me know in the comments what you're trying to achieve, what you want to do. Because once I've tackled this, I'm going to be tackling other habits in my life. Like fitness. And I am going to talk about making money as well. But I just wanted to get this out. So listen, try today, because there's only you can do this. This is down to you. You've got this. Catch you again.